historic city of the shores of Europe on the other. The Galata Bridge gives passage to the busy traffic between the two main parts of the city. Like the Byzantine emperors, the Ottoman sultans too expressed their religious craving by building palaces of worship. There are some 500 mosques in Istanbul. The Mosque of St. Sophia, standing majestically in the distance, its mighty spaciousness fills the onlooker with wonder and admiration. This beautiful building was a Byzantine church for 900 years and a Mohammedan mosque for 500. Abdülhamit the Conqueror, after capturing Istanbul in 1453, changed St. Sophia into a mosque but kept its name. The fountains. On one side of them is an inscription reading, "Wash not only thy face and thy hands here, but also wash away the evil in thy heart." This mosaic represents the Virgin Mary with the infant Jesus in her arms. Another mosaic showing Christ seated on a throne with his right hand raised in blessing, and below is the royal door which was only used by the emperor. The length of the mosque from the royal door to the apse is 240 feet. Its greatest width from the north wall to the south wall is 210 feet, and the height from the floor to the center of the dome is 170 feet. These columns on the northern side were brought from the Greek temples at Ephesus. There are others brought from the Temple of the Sun at Baalbek. The interior northwestern side, where the columns are of porphyry, brought from other lands. In 1932, the cleaning and renovation of the mosaic pictures and crosses of St. Sophia was undertaken by the Byzantine Institute of the United States under the auspices of the Turkish government. St. Sophia was built in the year 361 by the Byzantine Emperor Constantine. 30 years later, his son Constantus pulled down the original church and built a new one in its place. This building, which had a wooden roof, was burnt and destroyed during a riot in the year 404. The building of the church for the third time took place in the year 415. This too was burnt on the night of January the 13th, 532, during a revolt. The same year, Emperor Justinian started the building of the present St. Sophia. With its historic relics, serpentines and obelisks, with its magnificent shrines, such as during the reign of Solomon the Magnificent. The court of the Mosque of Valide, surrounded by columns of Turkish architecture. The Mosque of Fatih. Ruins of the aqueduct of Boğaz'ın, built by the Byzantines to carry water to the city. Roads lead from it to the Golden Horn. The Golden Horn has played an important part in the history of Istanbul. Beyond its shores on the left rise the domes and minarets of many mosques, presenting every evening, when lights sparkle on its waters, a picture like a scene from the Arabian Nights. At the northern end is the district of Ayyub with another pretty mosque, the Grand Bazaar, that wonderful enclosed market with its high domed ceilings and small windows through which the sun can hardly penetrate. Hundreds of merchants display their wares every day, jewelry, gold, and silverware. The Topkapi Palace was also the treasury of the Ottoman Empire. In it were preserved the priceless treasure of the sultans. The imperial harem. The harem was exclusively occupied by the women of the imperial household. No man except the sultan himself was allowed to enter here. There were, of course, besides these luxuriously decorated rooms, numerous bar houses and similar places where the ladies of the palace themselves as best they could. And amid the pretty villages adorning the two coasts of the Bosphorus is the palace of Dolmabahce, lived in by the several sultans of the Turkish Empire. The building and the main gates present a magnificent architectural design. The interior surpasses the exterior. In this palace is buried the history of a great empire and the dream lives of the sovereigns that once occupied its spacious halls and rooms. The monument to Hayreddin Barbarossa, acclaimed by all the world as a most valiant and enterprising admiral. He adorned the reign of Solomon the Magnificent in the 16th century. His outstanding seamanship and courage achieved naval victories in the Mediterranean against such rivals as Andrea Doria, the great Genoese admiral. Attractions on both coasts of the Bosphorus increase the natural beauties of the city. Going from the Mosque of Ortaköy towards the northern end of the Bosphorus, one sees casinos and swimming pools with artificial beaches which provide relaxation and entertainment to thousands in their leisure time. And sailing downstream on the Bosphorus, the same picture presents itself along the other side of the waterway. And Rumeli Hisar, with their ancient brick, mellowed for centuries by the sun and faded to a dark cream color. Before the capture of the city, they were used by the Turkish armies as observation posts. Further on is Leander's Tower. Moving towards the open parts of the Marmara, one notices holiday resorts along the two shores. About 20 minutes by boat from here, lying on the warm waters of the Sea of Marmara, are the islands of the princes, which were the favorite resorts of the Byzantine emperors. The largest of the islands is Principo. Here, instead of motor cars, gaily decorated carriages provide transport. And so we leave Istanbul, with moonlight twinkling on the now familiar waters of the Sea of Marmara.